Here's an example of a word problem where we're asked to write a quadratic function in vertex form that models the shape of an archway. So we're given some information about the archway. The height is 216 centimeters, and the width of the arch is 280. So if we draw this as a diagram, here's the archway. If this is the base, our height is 216, and our width is 280. So now we're going to transfer our diagram onto a graph. So if we call the center of the archway, if we say that that's right at the origin here, so this would be on the ground, right in the middle of the archway. The top of the arch would have a coordinate of 0 and 216. So the vertical height is our y value. If we're 280 meters wide, that means from the middle to each side will be a distance of 140. So the coordinate of this point would be 140 horizontal meters and 0 meters high. From the center to the left side would be negative 140. Also vertical height of 0. Now if we connect our dots, we get a quadratic graph. Now we're asked to write the equation in vertex form, so I know my p value and I know my q value. Here's the vertex on my graph, so that means that p equals 0 and q equals 216. So if I sub my points into this equation, I get y equals x minus 0 squared plus 216. Now, in order to solve for a, I need a value for x and y. So I can choose any other point on the archway. I'm going to select this point right here, which has coordinates of 140 and 0. So I'll sub in a 0 for my y and 140 for the x. Now I can solve for a. So if we simplify this, I'll move the 216 over to the other side. So I move the 216 over to the other side and solve for a. So I have negative 216 equals a times 140 squared, which gives us a value of 19,600. Divide both sides, and 216 divided by 19,600 gives us a simplified value, so we get negative 216 over 19,600. If we reduce that to lowest terms, we get negative 1 over 140. And it makes sense that our a value is negative here because our quadratic graph is opening downwards. So our vertex is the maximum point on the graph. If we sub everything back in, the equation of our function is going to be y equals negative 1 over 140 times x minus 0 squared plus 216. Because I have an x minus 0 here, I can simplify that to give negative 140 x squared plus 216.